So we're going to do a subscriber shout out, but before we do the subscriber shout out, I just want to take a break. This is a sexy guy scene with a weed eater noise in the background, take one. So here's the shout out to Luinator59 and Roadside Wreck. Cheers. Thanks to both of you subscribing. Just wanted to answer a question that Thyla and John asked yesterday. It was a really good question. It was basically, how does the process work? How do you actually get people that want to be asked on camera these kind of questions? And I'm going to take you through that process today, which is basically, yesterday Johnny gave us a little bit of insight into the thinking as an interviewer. The thinking of, if I make a mistake, that shows to them that I'm human, but also that I can be confident enough, it's okay to make a mistake, that we can edit it out. So I think that is part of the first part of it, is having the confidence. The second part, I guess, is what do you say? How do you introduce the idea of, hey, we're going to stick a camera in your face and we're going to ask you some questions without actually even telling them what all the questions are. So basically, I would start with, hey, excuse me guys, if I could just ask you a quick couple of questions. And if they look a little bit hesitant, it's just about the New Zealand minimum wage. Would you be okay with that? And you kind of give this nod. So you're speaking more excited than what you normally would speak. And they're thinking, yeah, this sounds like a really good thing to do. Because this excitement is what salespeople use. It's kind of something that influences the yes. The nod of the head is also because what happens when we like people, and we generally like people who are quite positive. So when we like people, we do mirror them. So if we're nodding, if we're asking a question and nodding, the first thing that will happen is they will start to nod because they're copying what we're doing. And then they're realizing they're nodding, so they're going, yeah. They're just kind of like reluctantly going into it. So in a way, yes, highly influential. Doesn't work on everyone. Around about 50% of people will say no. Some of the situations will surprise you. Like if you approach a group, I would say in a group situation, you will get a lot more no's. And the reason you're getting a lot more no's is actually a psychological effect called the bystander effect. And the bigger the group, basically the more people who are unwilling to participate.
We'll ask this lady and see how...
You're right.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi.
How's your day going?
Yeah, good.
Good.
How are you?
Hamish is just asking a few people on the street a question. Can we ask you a quick question?
Well, it depends on what the question is.
Well, Hamish, what's the question?
It's just about the minimum wage and your thoughts on the minimum wage.
We are not recording yet. Would that be okay to ask you?
Well, the problem is I don't know much about the minimum wage.
Oh, that's what we like. We like people with all sorts of views.
Okay.
So we'll give it a go. We'll give it a go. We film about 4 times as many people as we use. So if we get something good, we might use it.
Okay, cool.
Right, over to you, Hamish.
Okay, tell me about your thoughts on the minimum wage.
My thoughts.
If you're asking someone on the street and they say no, don't ask the next person walking behind them unless they make eye contact with you. Okay? And part of that is because they are likely to copy that person just in front. You've now, it's kind of normalised the fact that they can say no to you. So they're probably going to say no as well. But that eye contact was amazing because I'm not sure if I included this clip in the video, but there was a girl that was across the street standing by her car, and she was talking to a guy, and she looked across and she made eye contact with me, and then it was like, yeah, we're going across the street to go, because she was curious about what we were doing. And it was interesting because it was her and this guy. He did not want to engage at all, but that look showed her interest in the situation, which meant it was an easy sell from there. So yeah, definitely go after people who are making that direct eye contact with you. They're interested in what you're doing. Go and tell them what you're doing and ask them, come on, let's get you involved. Something else we can do to encourage people is their worst fear is, I'm going to make a mistake on camera. I'm going to look bad. So what you can do about that is usually start with a bit of a statement about, we usually film about 3 or 4 times more footage than what we actually use. So we only use the best of it. And, we want to make you look good. So you can say something like that to kind of, encourage them to, they're going to look good. You're on their side. And another thing is, after they've done it, is just say how well they've done. Hey, I thought those answers were really good. And if they feel like, well, I don't think I did it very well, because that's kind of a usual reaction they're going to have, is saying, but there was this one little part at the start that I liked and would probably use that. And it's just reaffirming them and telling them that they are good people. As you could tell from the clips that we did put together, I thought they were all fantastic. And those clips were just, we had those differences in opinion. So we went from one person saying, yeah, it's a good thing, to another person saying, nah, and, it's a bad thing. And we had other people saying, yeah, I think it's about right where it is. And that's really good to get all those different opinions. Something else which made the footage more interesting was the camera angles. And you'll notice, like, the first person, we film from this side, and then we take the shot for the next person from this side. So we're shooting like this, back and forth. So if you go watch the video again, you'll see more of what I mean. But that also creates engagement for the viewer. They're looking at it in that crisscross of the camera, because you are cutting between shots, and that just makes it more, it doesn't sort of stand out as a jump cut. It's more a deliberate cut, and it's more a different scenario. So we have 2 people who want to be interviewed. We film one from this side, and then we film the other from this side. And that makes the location actually look slightly different, rather than, oh, that's funny, because he's there, and then he just jumps there. And then it's like, oh, it's a different guy. But when you take that different, and the interviewer's on the other side, so that's actually what we did. Like, we filmed 2 people in the same location, and before we took the second person's interview, I walked over the other side and interviewed him from the other side, and there's Johnny on the other side with the camera. And so yeah, we actually make the shot, even though it's shot in the same location, look the opposite, look different, so that it's more striking to the viewer. So that's my tips on Vox Pop. Got the name right this time. Hope that's helpful to you guys. And I'm really interested if you're getting out there to do something like this. Leave a comment down here. I'll come and watch it. Cool. And good luck.